Hello, my name is April Giuliano. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Right here is where you will learn all things real estate and how to handle being a mom and entrepreneur. Before you watch the rest of this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, I am going to walk you through this project real quick. And first I want you to know, again, I knew that this is Jacksonville. I only flip in Jacksonville. This was right within my buy box. It's in a really good neighborhood, very desirable zip code. It's actually really hard to find deals here, so I was very excited to find this property. And you know, people always ask me though, they're like, oh my gosh, you flip houses, how cool, you get to do all the design. And I guess, sure, it is cool, but when you're flipping in volume, in order to keep material costs down, you really kind of want to stay standard, right? So you kind of look at the neighborhood, what some of the outside colors are, and you want to mimic some of that. But for the most part on the inside, we do all of the same things. So we use the same sort of paint. I mean, everything is kind of white and beige right now. It can seem kind of boring, but actually people love it, and it gives you a little bit of a clean slate to start. So we use a satin paint, a white satin paint. We use beige LVP flooring. We have white cabinets. We use different, like the pulls are always black. We use the same vanities. We use the same mirrors. And as I see that things are trending in a different direction, I'll change things here and there. Like we went from using square mirrors to using round mirrors. The gray flooring to using the beige flooring now. And so these are some of the things you kind of want to keep an eye on. You also want to look a little bit in the neighborhood. I look at some of the other houses and sort of what trends are happening in that neighborhood and move towards that. But other than that, everything's standard. I always want to make sure we have at least 3 bedrooms. If you find a house with 4 bedrooms, even better, because those are harder to find and people love those. And then one of my favorite things about this property is the lanai or Florida room. It's a big, huge screened-in porch. I mean, it's got a small yard, but who needs a yard when you have this big, beautiful lanai that you can do anything you want with? And I love using that word lanai too, because it's really cool. And so that's a huge selling point. So I look for these little things when I'm comping the property to see, you know, how can I turn this into making more money? And speaking of adding value to make a little bit more money, something we always do with every single property is we stage them. We use a staging company and they are amazing. It turns people's imaginations on. They can actually see how they're gonna live in this property, where they're gonna sit, where their TV's gonna go, where they're gonna be cooking their dinner and eating with their family and all the parties they're gonna have and the entertaining. It really just amplifies the property and people love it. I mean, I know when I walk, I mean, I'm sitting on the staging furniture right now. I know when I walk in here today, it feels like home, right? And a buyer doesn't have to come in and try to figure out where it's gonna go because you have a staging designer that does it for you. And I guarantee the buyer comes in and puts all this furniture in the same place as these stagers have it because they came in and they saw it. I absolutely love staging all my properties. And then you gotta have a good photographer come in and make it look even more pretty, especially on photos, because a photo is going to get a buyer to your property. They're gonna see it, they're gonna love the colors, they're gonna love the staging, and they're gonna come take a look. And with flipping, I definitely don't do this alone. I mean, from the moment I start to acquire the property until the day that it's closed and the new buyer is in their home, I'm always using partners to help me get there. And one of those partners is a great listing agent. I like to use a really good listing agent that does a ton of marketing and that can convey the type of buyer I want for this property, all the benefits of buying this property and why you want to be here so that you can get the top dollar. Not only that, but when you start to get those inspection reports back and you have to start negotiating again, right? So you negotiate the price, Then you got to go through the inspection, and this is where a really good listing agent comes in. They can be your intermediary where you don't even have to get involved, and they can say, okay, this stuff is great to fix, this stuff you don't really need to fix, and you can get it all worked out, and I don't even have to do it. My listing agent is amazing. Shout out to Rachel from Chad and Sandy. They sold this property $15,000 over listing, and I couldn't be happier working with them. So again, it's very important that you have an amazing agent that's going to help you get it to the finish line, because getting it under contract is just one step. Getting it to the finish line where it's closed and the money's in the bank is a whole nother thing, and you definitely need that partnership. So I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this property. So leave some comments here. Let me know what you're thinking, and I'll see you the next time.